Metal wings to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin, 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 pin. Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin, 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 pin. The secret pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin code, pin, pin, pin.
Taco's birthday, full of mirthday. Our friend is so smart and kind. Eat some food, cakes and chips. Smartest moves on our
What a
whole
wonderful
ship.
surprise!
Taco's
Just for me, a
birthday.
customized song! I love it! It's not only clever, it's thrifty as well!
Come on. I know the song's awesome, but you can't possibly think that's the only thing we got you for your birthday.
You recall how your encyclopedia's missing a few pages? On D, right near the end, when I couldn't find dubstep?
Oh yeah, so weird they're gone. Don't know where they could have gone to.
Taco, encyclopedias are a wonderful resource. And that's why they should have every last page. Therefore, we got you a new encyclopedia.
Here! I hope the story's interesting. I've never read it.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Now that he has the one with all the pages, I can learn what dubstep is, I think.
Well, let's find it.
But not so fast. Maybe we could start from the beginning, or with ease, or...
We have Damon and Darwin and Daco?
Holy 70s haircut, Daco! Why is your picture in here? Are you secretly famous?
So humble. You never told us.
I'm sure it's not me. You know my name is quite common.
Come on, Daco, that's you for sure. Let's see what it says. Daco Moose was expelled from the Elk Institute of Scientific Research for his complete failure of a scientific study. His suggestions were so ludicrous that he was immediately kicked off of all research projects, as well as barred from participating in the Cowbell Prize Committee. Oh, dear. Oh, he's also a verb. It means to, do something extremely dumb.
Oh.
Yes, I'm the dishonored Daco. I'll explain. That's why you couldn't find the original page. It all started years ago at the Academy. It was the year's biggest meeting of important scholars and scientists, and I wanted to leave my hoofmark in the history books. I had been working for weeks on what I thought was an exciting hypothesis, and I couldn't wait to share it with everyone. Ahem, ladies and gentle-elk, I'd like to speak today on the subject of reactive gases' properties and what we now know. Not so fast, it's not gross. I mean the good gases like oxygen. Oh. But they aren't all good, of course. Some can be downright dangerous, like some types of chloride can be. Hydrogen sulfide is a different matter. Ammonia, not poisonous, just smelly. Ugh, gross. But wait, I haven't even gotten to the really bad ones.
We get it. Can you get to your point? I'm pretty sure we all know how gases work.
Right. Moving on. The reason I'm here today is to talk about my discovery. I've discovered some gases that have no reaction at all. None whatsoever. I know it's strange, but they really do exist. These gases have no smell or color, so it was hard to find out they existed, and their atoms don't connect with other atoms in any way. They act as if they're high class, which is why I've decided to call them noble gases.
What a stupid name that is for a stupid substance. More like boring gas.
Boring is a matter of opinion, I think. But these are amazing! And I've discovered a total of 6 noble gases so far. They are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. You might be wondering, why don't these gases have any reactions? It's because of the actions of their atoms, and specifically their electrons. Electrons orbit a nucleus. If other atoms come along, they can form a molecule with the first atom. Then they share electrons. The electrons start sharing their orbits, and thus the connection is made. A regular gas has space between its electrons, meaning it's free game for another atom to come and react. But a noble gas doesn't have any extra room. As a result, they make terrible roommates, and no one else can ever make a connection with them. No reactions can happen. This type of gas, these noble gases, are extremely rare in our own atmosphere. When I was searching for them, in fact, I found that they make up less than 1% of our own atmosphere on Earth.
So tell me, young scientist, if these gases are so noble and don't react to anything, do they even have a purpose? Any practical use here? Why should any of us care about them?
Well, I really didn't think they needed one. I just thought they were a cool discovery.
Pointless! Nobly pointless! Ha! It's just like this nobly pointless speech!
If we do research, maybe we could find, a point for the noble gas. I had always wanted to be a famous scientist, but not a laughingstock. And as you can see, I got my encyclopedia page, but it's my biggest shame.
Oh.
So you still don't know how they can be used? These noble gases? Surely you found some use.
The most common noble gas is helium, and everyone knows how that's used for birthdays, balloons, and such. My hypothesis was called the most useless discovery of all time, and I was shamed ever since. I'm a failure.
You're the farthest thing from a failure I know. Sure, you pull a Daco here and there. We know how brilliant you are.
He's right, Daco. What do they know anyway?
Thanks, you guys.
And they sound like a bunch of boring old mooses. 'Cause who doesn't like balloons?
Yeah, balloons are my favorite.
Listen, that's just a bunch of hooey in that article. Here's what I'll do. I'll make that encyclopedia uncyclopedia'd. I'll show you a thing or two. I'll tear you apart. Science meanies.
Of the bad birthdays I've had, this is probably second.
I'd hate to hear first. Here's the thing. We sustained some serious damage to the engine. Also, comm system fried. And that means that we can't even call for help. We're finished. At least it's quiet on, what planet are we on?
On Mars. I can tell from its moons, Phobos and Deimos.
And that way is Earth. We could even see it if we had a big enough telescope.
You know where they have telescopes? On Earth, where they can see us. Hey, people of Earth, check this out! There's a rabbit on Mars! You better come save him! I bet there's a big cowbell prize in store for whoever discovers these dummies on Mars!
They couldn't see us. No matter how much we try, they just don't have the technology to see this far.
But what if we made a big bonfire or something like that instead?
A fire needs oxygen to burn, and Mars has none. It wouldn't burn.
Then how about a big light bulb? An enormous, shiny light bulb!
Of course! We can stop by the giant hardware store on Mars. I heard they're having a sale on giant light bulbs.
Perfect.
There is a chance we could make a sort of gas lamp. Could be simple. No air needed. Here's how those work. A glass tube is filled with a regular old gas like nitrogen or carbon dioxide. Then we can put a current through it. Electrons inside start to go crazy flying through the gas, and they start running into some of the other atoms. This makes the gas glow.
You've got it! That type of light bulb would be much easier to put together, and it would probably consume a lot less energy.
What are we waiting for?
Problem is, this bulb would be fragile and break way too easily. Gases of that variety are quite unstable. If they produce the wrong kind of compound, the lamp would soon be destroyed.
Fine. We just need a gas that is the opposite of volatile and doesn't react at all.
Sounds like an emotionally well-adjusted gas.
Or a sleepy one.
You know, guys, I think I've heard of that gas. Discovered by someone smart.
Oh, yeah! I do remember hearing something about that stuff. And I think it was a really good scientist.
I'm so confused.
You all might be onto something here. We might have a use for the noble gases. Phenomenal! Each gas burns a different color. Simply amazing!
This is a brilliant use of gases in a new application. Not even hot. And I bet it burns even longer than an incandescent bulb because the gases inside aren't reactive to anything.
And this saves us a trip to the giant bulb store, so we should put it outside now.
Or we could use it to write words, like send out chips.
That's a good plan, but I have an even better idea.
Oh, my. We have a possible situation. You should come see this. There's something truly bizarre happening on the surface of Mars. It's unbelievable.
Remarkable stuff.
Inconceivable.
Oh, phenomenal!
What's that? Holy carrots! They found us!
It looks like this is a new page in the encyclopedia that now deserves to be written.
Daco may have brought noble gases to Mars, but on our planet, their discovery goes way back. It's credited to two noble scientists themselves. Lord Rayleigh and Sir William Ramsay won the Nobel Prize in 1904 in chemistry. Thanks, noble dudes. Get back to your lounging.
I feel bad. I feel like I don't have any talents.
Uh-huh.
I'm just so uninspired.
We fly here, we fly there, and no matter where we go, same old stars.
Oh.
Day, night, day, night, day, boring and dull.
In general, my life is fine. My experiments are going well. Fascinating results and all. But nevertheless, something's off. I kind of feel like all the walls are pressing in on me.
Stars all around us, but I long for a mud pit to wallow in. Nice and runny. I'd love it.
Uh-huh. Well, it's pretty clear what's going on here. Everyone seems to be showing symptoms of common space depression.
Depression? How depressing!
It's not fatal. You'll be fine. There are a number of cures. First, you should take a nice warm bath. Then take some time off.
Time off?
Yeah, a break.
I'm the party penguin! Cannonball!
What's going on?
What's it look like? A warm bath, party, a little time off, like you said.
Well, that certainly is a giant bath. Hang on, what's this? Tell me you didn't use our entire soap supply for this.
Yeah, shampoo too. Best bubbles ever.
You said a nice warm bath and time off would help us with our depression. Wonderful therapy, by the way. I already feel 100 times better.
Your treatment really hit the spot.
Thrilled to hear that. But our well-being would be even more endangered if for some reason we lost our soap supply.
Cleanliness isn't nearly as important as feeling positive and happy again. My dear obsessively clean friend.
Not nearly as important? All our species would have died out if it weren't for a little thing called soap.
Died of depression?
Yeah, that too. The origins of washing with a substance come from prehistoric times. The first substance used wasn't actually soap, but clay.
But isn't he dirtier now than when he started?
Not at all. The clay was actually as good as modern soap for cleaning. But even with the invention of soap, our ancient ancestors were not aware of the value of keeping themselves clean. And in the big cities of the Middle Ages, people's life expectancy was often shortened by disease. You see, infections spread quickly in densely populated areas, like cities. And it wasn't until the late 18th and early 19th centuries that there was a revolution in our understanding of the importance of keeping clean. And due to that change in behavior throughout society, life expectancy grew 30 years over time.
All right, I've got it now. To stay healthy is to stay clean. But up here in outer space, there aren't microbes or bacteria. Soap doesn't matter here.
Up here we can wash up with only water, right? But it did wash away our depression. So Dankeschön, beautiful bath bubbles.
I just feel so uncomfortable. In my own skin, it itches bad.
Don't turn the light on, 9. I'm under the weather. I can barely get around. My feet keep sticking to the floor.
Everything's all right in general. My experiments are fine. Interesting results and all. But I feel like something is creeping up on me.
Oh.
Dirty and clean. Dirty and clean.
Mud bath. Mud bath. My kingdom for a mud bath.
Ah, pellets. Now do you understand how important soap is to our state of well-being?
I still don't understand what the big deal is about soap. Why can't we get clean by using just water?
Interesting question. Have you ever noticed that hands really are harder to wash without soap?
How come?
Because grease cannot be dissolved by water alone. The reason for this is that water molecules have an electrostatic charge and oil molecules do not. Water molecules are shaped in a way that makes them hook tightly together, creating surface tension. And without something extra to hook the water molecules to the grease molecules, the grease escapes the water every time. Soap molecules are the bridge between water and grease. One end of a soap molecule has a negative charge and can interact with water molecules. The other end is nonpolar. That means it has no charge at all, and that the end can attach to grease molecules. In addition, the nonpolar ends of soap molecules attach themselves to the nonpolar grease molecules, and the soap molecules end up gathering into a sphere around the grease molecules. Those spheres are called micelles. Whenever we wash anything in soap and water, millions of micelles appear. And by agitation, the micelles tear the dirt and grease away from whatever is being washed. And in the process, micelles remove dangerous germs. Clear water then rinses away the dirt containing micelles, and we are clean again.
So we'll just stay dirty until we find some soap molecules?
There must be an alternative to soap. We don't need an alternative. It has to be possible to locate some soap molecules in another place.
Yes, dear friend, that's right. Good thinking there. In fact, those molecules could be found anywhere. You know what? They could be found in us.
What? Really?
For instance, similar molecules help us breathe. Amazingly, there are cells in our lungs that function like soap molecules. When we inhale, the air flows down the trachea through numerous small tubes called bronchi and finally fills hundreds of little sacs called alveoli. From the alveoli, oxygen gets into our blood vessels and is carried throughout the body. Now, on the inner side of the alveolus, there is a thin film of liquid, and when we breathe, this liquid has to expand and contract easily. If this film consisted of just water molecules, it would be very difficult to stretch, because every water molecule is positive on one side and negative on the other. They are firmly attached to each other. Fortunately, there are special molecules in our lungs that interact with the water molecules like soap does. Those molecules get between the water molecule and reduce their mutual attraction, and that makes it possible for us to breathe easily.
All right, then. There are some soap molecules inside us. Who are we going to get our soap from? Eeny, meeny, miny, sheep.
No. We won't be cutting anyone up and harvesting soap from them. I just remembered a secret recipe I learned from my grandmother. My lousy memory. Can't believe I just thought of it now. Now, this will help us get nice and clean.
Hold up. Come on. That'll make us more disgusting than we already are.
My great-grandmother was never wrong about anything. An egg yolk, Granny would say, works when you don't have soap.
Great Granny's right. Yes, I should have thought of this earlier. Egg yolks contain a substance called lecithin. Here's another use for eggs. The lecithin molecule in egg yolks has a charge on one side and is nonpolar, has no charge on the other. This allows a lecithin molecule to attach itself to a water molecule with a charged side and a grease molecule with the nonpolar side. Sound familiar? That's right. Lecithin molecules are similar to soap molecules, and that means you can wash your hair with a fresh egg yolk.
That took forever.
Oh, yes, what they say is true. There's nothing like being clean in the morning and at night and in the afternoon.
Your attention, please. I would like to share my new poem. It's pretty short, but it's good. To be clean is to be not foul. It is more important than you think. And thanks to one special owl, all of us no longer stink. Good, right?
It'd be better if I was in it.
Bravo, bravo! So very talented, don't you agree?
I've heard moderately worse. Not half bad, right?
Let's all do a toast in honor of our precious savior. Yay for Olga! Where is our guest of honor?
Oh, Siggy, I am depressed. Everyone else is happy because I helped them fix their problems. But what about my problems? Maybe I should try knitting. Sigmund, are you even listening to me?
Hey, Wally! Coming at ya! Saturn's rings are back where they belong, sir.
Space Janitor Squad does it again.
Well, if somebody hadn't taken the ship without permission and had a demolition derby with a ring system, we wouldn't have had to do all that work.
I did not take the ship without permission. I just fell asleep at the wheel.
That's even worse.
Look at this, my heroic friends! Congratulations! Seems all our hard work helping the galaxy has been getting a little attention. Space Janitor Squad saves the day. Space Janitor Squad mops up. I say yes to the SJS. Finally, real superheroes.
Woohoo! We're honest-to-goodness celebrities.
This is just horrible. Somebody tell me why I look so terrible in all those pictures.
There's nothing horrible about this. It's actually very good. And we have been asked to give an interview this very evening, in prime time. Everyone will love the Space Janitor Squad.
You really think they're gonna love us? Wearing these filthy, stinky uniforms? Wally falls asleep at the wheel, and I get humiliated on TV.
Well, I can fix that. I'll wipe off the space crud. You'll see that Wally can actually get it right sometimes. Now, how do you think you get clothes clean? Oh! Pin! Pin!
Huh? What's up? Is it a space apocalypse? What? Say, could I count you to get back to sleep?
No time for that. Come look. It's awful.
Sweet sauerkraut! Dummkopf sheep, what have you done?
I washed them. How was I supposed to know the super costume colors would run?
Yeah, I warned them about that cheap cotton polyester blend. Corduroy's better.
Huh?
Wally! The TV station called. We're going on the air soon. We need our costumes.
They just need another minute. They're almost dry now. Pin, oh, please help. Otherwise, I'm finished.
All right, I suppose that I could dye them all again. That might just solve your problem, right?
Oh, Pin, I just knew you wouldn't let me down. Have you still got leftover dye for every color costume?
9, but it's all right. I only really need 3 colors. We can make as many colors as we like as long as we start with the big 3 primary colors. Red, yellow, and blue. If we mix yellow and blue, we get green. If we mix red and yellow, we get orange. And if we mix red and blue, we get purple.
But orange and purple giraffes don't exist.
That's right. I exist only as an example in an animated science show. But I take some comfort in the fact that I might teach a child the concept of combining colors.
Hope they at least gave you lunch.
Red plus green, and we get brown. And if we mix brown with blue, we get black.
Oh.
And if we add red with purple, we'll get pink.
Thanks, but I think I'd rather just stay purple.
Yellow plus green would we get an olive color. Brown plus orange we get terracotta. Green plus blue and...
Hey, Pin, thanks a lot. I got it. We just need primary colors. Shall we get to it?
All right, I know it's here somewhere. No, that's not it. No, that's it. No. No, that's it. No. Oh, is it? Think quick. Think quicker.
No.
Think quickest. Okay, that was not quick.
What else can we use to make blue pigment?
There's indigo ferra. It's a plant that can only be found growing in a couple of tropical countries in Asia. That work?
But that's pretty far from here, right?
Well, not really by universal standards. It's just a couple dozen million kilometers, give or take.
Wally? What's going on in here? 10 minutes till the show! Where are our super uniforms?
Just 5 minutes more. Just need to iron them, that's all.
You better not do anything to ruin the beautiful birth of my television career!
Well, that's that.
Just watch them all together, huh? In the machine? That wasn't smart. You could leave them like that. They look funky-ish, right? Modern. Your laundry skills are horrible, my dear friend, but it's pretty darn funny, isn't it?
Wally, open this door! Where's my super costume?
All right, men. You said you need blue pigment, right? I know how we can make all this right. Up until the 20th century, all pigments were produced from plants and minerals. Getting the pigment you wanted wasn't always easy because plants and minerals only occurred in certain locations. For example, for years, the only source of the bright red pigment for the color carmine, or cinnabar, required insects that lived on cactuses.
That's fascinating and everything, but we're looking for blue pigment here?
Indigo, a famous deep blue pigment, was once produced from the leaves of the rare Asian plant Indigo ferra. Because it was one of the most permanent dyes produced in nature, indigo became very popular. Now, more than 20,000 tons of this pigment is produced every year. The majority of it is used for dyeing blue jeans. Of course, if we still needed indigo ferra to produce the indigo pigment, we would have to grow these plants all over the world. Fortunately, toward the end of the 19th century, Adolf von Baeyer, the German scientist, discovered an artificial substitute for producing indigo pigment.
Then we don't need to make a trip to Asia after all? We can get our hooves on blue pigment made artificially?
Yes, we can!
Wally, open up! I know you're in there. If you have messed up my super uniform, I swear I'll...
Rosa, there's no need to keep bellowing threats. Your super uniform is in perfect shape. I cleaned them up, just like I said.
We are going on air in 5 seconds.
4 seconds. 3, 2...
Wally, maybe you're kind of all right.
Sometimes I surprise myself.
And we're on!
Space Janitor Squad, suit up!
Joining us from their starship is the Space Janitor Squad, and for the very first time, the whole world will see them live on their television. Thanks for being here, Space Janitors. Is there a problem?
Huh? We were so concerned about the costume colors that we didn't even think of the possibility of their shrinking.
You're not exactly catching us at our best.
Wally!
Everything's fine. I can make the costumes unshrink. I'm sure.
Perhaps the members of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences enjoyed wearing jeans, because in 1905, they awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry to Adolf von Baeyer for his research. And for the synthesis of indigo, he was raised to hereditary nobility by the King of Bavaria, enabling him to use the von prefix before his last name.
Our mainframe is down. We'll definitely be here for a while. That sounds brilliant. We need to take a break from our space exploration. Now we'll have time to focus on hobbies and activities.
You mean your underwater calligraphy?
Nah, I gave that up years ago.
How about when you collected shiny things?
I told you, I'm past that phase. Also, I told you that in secret. Come on. My new hobby adventure is sculpture. My only hobby is this ship, keeping it from exploding on us. Finding stones, not shiny things, definitely different. I'll make some art today. Oh, you're a fine specimen. I could make a circle. Or a cube. Amateurs. Ha! Not for me. What's the most beautiful thing I can think of to sculpt today? I've got it! I will make this a self-portrait. Yeah! Huh? What the? Are we in a different spot? Hey, Ben, what gives? When did you fix the ship? I didn't yet. It needs a ton more work. We could be stuck here for days. Then tell me who put this giant stone here. That's a weird question, Colin. This planet has hundreds of stones, none of which can be used to fix this confounded ship. But could the stone be organic? That would mean it would have to be alive, wouldn't it?
Well, sort of. It's rather complicated. Many years ago, chemistry was divided into parts, organic and inorganic. Here's how they separated it. Basically, organic chemistry meant things that were alive, and inorganic meant things that were not alive. Chemists from the olden times thought that organic substances could not be created. They could only exist in nature. They believed that only inorganic substances could be created by man. We had no chance at making life. But that changed in the 19th century. The very first organic substance was finally created inside a laboratory. Now scientists knew that we could create organic materials, life. Sure, the term organic refers to things that are alive, like you and me, and all the animals. But it can refer to other life forms, like trees and plants, insects, even bacteria. There are so many things that are now considered organic, like some types of plastics or medicines. It's wild! And there are 20 million types of recognized organic compounds.
Then how do we find out what's organic or not? This seems complex.
It's not complex. It all comes down to a very simple equation. Every organic substance contains a carbon atom and a hydrogen atom, and they have to be connected to each other. Carbon is the important factor here. It is the main building block of all organic compounds. One carbon molecule can connect with up to 4 other atoms, with limitless combinations of organic compounds. Isn't it interesting?
Whoa! These things are great for building things. They're made for construction. So then, are you saying that by using carbon we can construct almost any material known to man and use it for the ship?
Well, maybe. Anything's possible with science, at least in theory.
Look at that! There's another one!
Well, there's no need to panic now. Maybe they just had a series of, tiny earthquakes, right? I'm sure that's what moved the rocks across the surface of the planet.
This is weird. I'd almost prefer a tiny earthquake. Let's talk things over in my lab. Tell me more about how we can use carbon to make my ship even more incredible. Huh? What's going on? I left it right here. I'd remember. It couldn't just walk away. Ow! Blasted, naughty space rock! Ow! Hey guys, how go the repairs?
Science can only go so far, and we're slow in our progress to create new carbon materials.
What?
It's a lot harder than it looks, I'm afraid. Organic molecules happen to be a whole world in and of themselves.
But carbon is so fun! Look here, I made this with the carbon constructor. Is this something to fix the ship and get us home? Of course not. You said we should focus on our hobbies. No way! That's a waste of time and resources. We need to focus on repairing the engine.
Oh, Carlin, I didn't realize you were in such a hurry.
Always in a rush. That's what I always say, right? No time for hobbies when there's space to conquer. Speaking of weird things, why can't we always attach carbon atoms to each other? Isn't there something to stick them like glue?
You're so very right. The solution was sitting there this whole time. Attaching carbon atoms to each other is kind of hard. When dealing with organic compounds, things tend to get a little bit messy. Good news, one element can help. It's really good at sticking to more than one carbon molecule at once. This element is known as palladium. Palladium is a precious rare metal with crazy interesting properties. When two carbon atoms meet near palladium, they become attracted to each other. Then the carbon atoms that are joined together break off and form their own little club. Palladium can do this with multiple carbon compounds over and over. Palladium creates one new larger organic molecule by continually joining carbon atoms, and joining, and joining. Okay, Palladium, I think we've got the idea now. That way, making organic materials becomes easy. And not to mention, it's safer and a lot less expensive.
But how could it get even safer? Carbon atoms are almost boring. Very boring. What just happened? It's probably nothing. Just another tiny earthquake.
We shouldn't do work if there are earthquakes happening around us. Let's just take a rest and wait till they pass us.
Nope. You both should keep working. A ship can't fix itself. I'll take care of the earthquakes myself. I wonder... Rock Brethren, I am returning your, son. Or daughter, I'm not sure. But I didn't hurt a single hair on his head. Or piece of rock, you know. Put our spaceship down, kindly. Yeah, I think I might have been in space too long. As if you hear what I'm saying.
palladium is truly phenomenal stuff. We fixed the motherboard and even upgraded the engine.
We'll be out of here in no time. Oh, what happened to all these rocks here? It's been a day. Daco, I was wondering, are all known life forms really made of carbon compounds? They're only organic substances?
That's right. Living means organics.
But space is such a big place. Is it possible that there's inorganic stuff that's alive?
Anything is possible that we don't yet know about. Silicon is pretty similar to carbon, too, in very weird ways. They're almost identical in how they make chemical compounds. Imagine one day replacing all the carbon compounds with silicone ones, since they work the exact same way. Wouldn't that be interesting?
What kind of stuff does silicon make anyway?
It's found in rocks, and in stones, and also in sand. Smart rocks.
Yeah, smart rocks. That's rich.
In 2010, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry was awarded to 3 scientists, Richard Heck, Eiichi Negishi, and Akira Suzuki. They created the method of carbon construction using palladium. However, no one has yet created or discovered silicon-based life forms. Science still has a long way to go, right?